What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So look, y'all, Adrian Broner just lost by unanimous decision against Blair the Flair Cobbs, right? Blair loves Ric Flair. That's his guy. You know what I mean? It's so funny he emulates Ric Flair a lot. But anyway, after the fight, I saw people saying, you know, Adrian Broner, he needs to train harder. He needs to train like Floyd. He needs to train himself to the limits like Floyd does, because Floyd is able to squeeze everything out of himself, you know, in training in order to be the best version of himself in the ring, right? And I've heard people say this regarding Deontay Wilder. Man, he needs to train like Floyd. He needs to train better. He ain't trained enough. Did he even train? Floyd was training endlessly, and that's why he was always winning fights. I want to say this, man. A lot of people who say that are often casual fans. And I'm not trying to disrespect casual fans. Y'all know boxing, one of my favorite sports ever, right? And in order for boxing to be prominent, we need casual fans to be engaged in the sport. We need them to tune in. We need y'all to watch consistently and to care about these mega fights. However, I want to educate a lot of the casuals on Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is something different, y'all. I don't care how much you train. I don't care how much you jog. I don't care how much in great shape you are. It's nearly impossible to beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. unless you start boxing as a toddler. Floyd Mayweather, I'm not lying to y'all. Floyd probably been boxing since he was 2 or 3 years old. And when you got a dude like that, you can't compare him to other guys. Adrian Broner, like, bro, Floyd grew up he was trained his whole life to be nothing else but a boxer. That's it. Eat, sleep, shit, train, boxing. Seriously, he grew up in a boxing household, right? His father, Floyd Mayweather Sr., was a top contender in the welterweight division. Fought Sugar Ray Leonard, you know, fought Marlon Starling, etc. Was a top contender in the welterweight division. His uncle, the youngest brother, his youngest uncle, Jeff Mayweather, held the IBO super featherweight title, right? Was a champion. His other uncle, Roger Mayweather, the original Black Mamba, like for real, like before Kobe was a Black Mamba, Roger Mayweather had that name. Roger was a bad motherfucker. Like Roger was tough as nails. Roger was a WBC super featherweight and super lightweight champion. Like what? Roger, he had that in his family, dog. Roger Mayweather had, what, 35 wins by knockout, 59 wins, 13 losses. Roger was a dog. Look at that household he comes from. He was around nothing but boxing savants that taught him a defensive style, that taught him punch accuracy, counter punching, that taught him how to throw the punch, again, punch placement. Like all of these different things. He was bred to be a fighter so much that he has reflexes that are cat-like. Like, for real, if you watch Floyd, he knows when the opponent is about to hit him. He can feel it because he's been doing this shit for so long. Floyd Mayweather, like Deontay Wilder, bro. I give so much respect to Deontay for this. Deontay started boxing at 19 years old. By then, Floyd Mayweather was already, what, about to be world champion. When did he become world champion? 20 years old? He had just turned pro, I think, at 19. So he became world champion 20, 21 years old when he fought Gennaro Hernandez. Gennaro Chiquinito Hernandez? Yeah. So, Deontay Wilder just started boxing at 19. Floyd Mayweather is already a professional. Already an Olympian. Should have been a gold medalist. He got robbed out of winning a gold medal. But you see what I'm saying? Like, you can't compare these other dudes to Floyd. Deontay Wilder was not trained. He was not brought up to be a boxer. He was not bred to be a boxer. It wasn't in his pedigree. He picked it up due to the fact that he thought he could make some quick money in order to take care of his daughter's medical bills. His daughter who has spina bifida. And then he just fell in love with the sport as he was going, and he saw that he could have a future in it because of the power that he was blessed with. Floyd Mayweather was trained, like Adrian Broner, another one. Adrian was boxing when he was young, but he didn't come from the pedigree that Floyd Mayweather come from. Adrian was 1 foot in the streets, 1 foot in the boxing gym. Floyd Mayweather was in a boxing gym all the time, since a baby. You know what I mean? He was under great tutelage to teach him what not to do in the ring, what to do in the ring. They taught him ring generalship. how to be very ring savvy, taught him the pull counter, one of the most beautiful moves in boxing, taught him how to throw a check hook. Like all of, like, bro, this shit was in the stars for Floyd. It was like when he was born, his father decided this is what he's going to do. I'm going to train my son to be a boxing prodigy. You are not going to be able to do, if you ain't started boxing like Floyd did as a toddler, it's, bro, them dudes that started like when they was 11, 10, even when the dudes that started at like 11, 10, you're not going to be able to do shit Floyd was doing because he been doing it since he was 2 and 3 years old. Dudes that started at 18, 19, 20, boy, they not going to be able to do the same things that he's done like the majority of the time. Now, you got some guys that can develop it and put it all together late. Very, very rare. Bernard Hopkins, extremely special talent because he started super late, right? But most guys, bro, they can't do what Floyd Mayweather does. And they won't be able to because he was bred to be that. He was brought up to be a boxer. That was his sole purpose in life. And that's all he focused on. He didn't even focus on school like that. He focused on being a world champion boxer. And he became one of the greatest world champions ever. So you can't tell him, hey, man, Floyd just trained. Floyd ain't just training, bro. This shit is in his DNA. He doing much more than just training real hard. Deontay Wilder trained his ass off. He always in shape. But he could never show the skill that Floyd Mayweather shows because he started way too late. Deontay wasn't brought up around world champion boxers. He wasn't brought up in a boxing gym around former professionals like that. Mark Breland came into his stable later, you know, after he was already making a little name for himself, after he was coming up in the ranks. He was with JD's, who was not a former boxer at all, right? Now, Adrian Broner had Mike Stafford, God rest his soul, rest in peace. But again, Adrian was running around in the streets, getting in trouble. He was in and out of boxing at that time. He just had talent, raw talent. Floyd Mayweather had the talent. He had the work ethic. He had the application. He was able, stuff became muscle memory for Floyd. A lot of boxing, great boxers, it's muscle memory for them. He is in him to just do shit in the ring. It's been drilled in him so much. You hear stories about Floyd Mayweather Sr. making little Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight in a closet so he couldn't run in order to hone his defensive abilities, to be able to hit and move, to be able to roll punches off the shoulder, to be able to catch shots. Like, he did these things to teach his son to be an elite champion. A lot of other dudes ain't never had that, man. They can train as much as they want to. They not going to be Floyd. So when people be like, man, he need to train like Floyd, just train. That's what Floyd do. No, Floyd was brought up in this shit. It was like he was in a laboratory and they was like breeding, like they was just breeding and making him drink certain serum or something to be a world champion. It was embedded in that brother, man. It was embedded in him for him to be special. It was destined for him because he was around the right shit in the gym all the time since a baby. You can't emulate that, nor can you beat it. Machiavelli Mills TV.